It is a very common business scenario in European Union, EU, that we have a legal entity or a company code in one country and we sell to final customers in another EU country. So for example, we have a company code in Germany and we sell our products to final customers in France. And here, according to EU regulations, we have to report value-added taxes in the country of the final customer, our destination country, in France. But we don't have a legal entity there. We only have one legal entity that is in Germany. Now, when thinking about how to apply this solution in SAP, the first solution that comes to mind is to define another company code in France. And this would be a valid option if we actually have an operating unit there and a legal entity, then this would justify the effort we are going to do in order to configure and maintain the company code. But we don't actually have a legal entity in France. We only have one legal entity in Germany, and we would like to sell to the different countries in EU, not only France. And there is no way we are going to define a different company code for each country just to be able to generate value-added tax reporting. This is where we can use the plants abroad solution created by SAP. This solution gives us the ability to create different plants, artificial plants, in the different countries that we would like to sell to, and we can assign all of these plants to our company code in Germany. So we have one legal entity, company code in Germany, with different plants in the different countries in EU that we would like to sell to. And here, the plants abroad solution will give us three benefits. The first one is the ability to create value-added tax reporting in the destination country. So even though we have only one legal entity in Germany, we can create a value-added tax reporting for France and for any other country in EU where we are going to define a plant. The second benefit is the ability to report in the local currency of the destination country. If the destination country has a different local currency, then we will be able to generate the report in the local currency of the destination country. And the third benefit is the ability to generate Intrastat reporting, which is a legal requirement to track any movement of goods across borders in EU. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the Value Added Taxes playlist. This is Abdullah Galal, and in the video today, I will explain to you in detail the business process of plants abroad in SAP with all the accounting entries included. So I will explain all the steps needed to sell a product from our company code in Germany to a final customer in France. And in the next video, I'm going to follow this with a full demo on SAP S/4HANA for the plants abroad solution. Before you continue this video, if you would like to learn more about the meaning of value-added taxes and the accounting treatment, then you can check the video that I created 5 years ago. It's still valid. So I explained what is the concept of value-added taxes with all the accounting entries included. Also, I added a demo on SAP S/4HANA for the process. So you should check the video to understand more about value-added taxes before you continue watching this one. Now that I have your attention, and before we start this very interesting video, I would like to share some news with you. So just give me 1 minute, please. I'm going to be speaking in the coming event of SAP Insider in Copenhagen, Denmark. This will be in November 2024, and I'm going to present two sessions. The first one is about the Universal Journal, and the second one is margin analysis. Very interesting topics. I'm really looking forward to these presentations, and I'm looking forward to meet all of you. So if you are going to be in the event, or if you live near Copenhagen and you'd like to meet up, then leave me a comment and send me a message on LinkedIn. The second point is my website is live, so you can go to www.galalconsulting.com, and I have new availabilities for career coaching sessions and interview preparation sessions. So if you'd like to meet me one-to-one, you can go to my website and book an appointment. Now let's start with the plants abroad business process. Internal accounting entries and everything. The SAP business process integration is for HANA. Our example today is to sell a product from our company code that's in Germany to our final customer that is in France. Let's say that the product we are selling is a desk. Now the process is actually split into two different parts. The first part is a stock transfer from our plant that is in Germany, where we actually produce the desk, to the artificial plant that we defined in France. And the second part of the process is to sell the product from our plant in France to our final customer that's in France. All of this belongs to the same legal entity or company code, which is in Germany, but we have two different plants, one real plant in Germany and one artificial plant in France. Now, if we look into the first part of the process, the stock transfer from our plant in Germany to our plant in France. The first step is to create a stock transfer order, which is a special type of purchase orders. We are going to see this in the demo in the next video. So we define a stock transfer order. And in the stock transfer order, we say that we are transferring a product, so the quantity that we want to transfer from our plant in Germany to our plant that is in France. The second step is to create an outbound delivery with reference to the stock transfer order. And so far we have no accounting entries. The third step is to post goods issue with reference to the outbound delivery, and here we have our first accounting entry. The accounting entry will have zero impact on finance because we have not actually sold anything, so it will be debit to the inventory account and the credit to the inventory account. But in the debit side, it will be assigned to our plant that's in France, and in the credit side, it will be assigned to our plant that is in Germany. You see now how accounting and the material management are 100% reconciled. This is why we need this accounting entry, just to reflect in financial accounting that we moved some products from this plant to this plant. And of course, we are going to also have a material document because this is a material movement, and the material document will reflect that we are moving our product from Germany to France. So far, when we check any inventory management reports, we are going to find this quantity as in process. It has not yet been received in France because we just did the goods issue. So the step after this is to post a goods receipt in the plant in France. Once we do so, the material management reports will reflect that this amount or this quantity has been received in France. And the goods receipt step has no accounting impact because the accounting impact has already been reflected when we did the goods issue. Then we have the fifth and final step, which is posting a special kind of billing document that is made only for plants abroad. You see here we are not actually selling to a final customer yet, so there should be no billing document. But we need this billing document to post an accounting document that will impact our value-added tax reporting. This is actually the main part of the plants abroad process. So this accounting entry is what we need to be able to report value-added taxes in France and also to be able to generate Intrastat reporting. When you look at the accounting entry of the billing document for the first time, you will have a hard time understanding what is actually happening from value-added tax point of view. So let's look into this accounting entry line by line. The first line we have is a credit to the sales revenue account with the value-added tax of Germany, which is 0%. So why do we have this? Let's think about this process from the EU regulations point of view. Now we are moving some products from Germany to France, which means that Germany is exporting something to France. And when we export, we have 0% value-added tax. We are not selling in the country. So when we generate the value-added tax reporting for Germany, we are going to find that we have 0% for the amount of sales that we did to France. So it will be reflected in our reporting, but with 0% VAT. This is the first legal requirement. The second line we have is a debit to the sales revenue account with the same value. So this means the impact on our sales revenue is 0, which is needed because we have not yet sold anything, so we cannot impact our trial balance. So we have a debit to the same sales revenue account with the same value, but this line is connected to our value-added tax of France. Now let's say in our example, the value-added tax in France is 20%. So this line will be connected to our value-added tax code for 20%. And then we have two other lines to reflect this value-added tax. The first line is a credit to the output value-added tax with the tax code of France of 20%. And the second line is a debit to the input value-added tax with the tax code of France of 20%. So these two lines have the same value, which means they are going to net each other to 0. But you see here, we have impact on our value-added tax reporting. Why do we have these two lines? Now again, let's go back to the point of view of the EU regulations. Now we have France that is buying products from Germany. So France is doing importation. When a company is doing importation, they do something that's called reverse charge, which means they debit and credit the value-added tax value. And this is what we have here. So for France, the tax code of France of 20%, we have debit and credit. So there is actually nothing to pay to the government here. As you see, they are netting each other to 0, but we need this to be able to generate our value-added tax reporting to show what France has imported from Germany. And this is the correct accounting impact, because you see, so far, we have not yet sold this product to a final customer. When we sell the product to our final customer in France, only then we are going to actually collect output value-added tax from the final customer and submit it to the government. But so far, We are not the final customers. We are just getting the product from Germany to sell it to our final customer. So when we look in at the value-added tax reporting, we will have a net of 0. There is nothing to submit to the government. The product has not yet been sold to the final customer, but we are going to see all the details showing that we exported some items from Germany and that we imported some items from France with the exact value and the quantity. And this allows us to generate the value-added tax reporting in Germany and in France, and the Intrastat reporting required by the EU regulations. Now let's move to the second part of the process, which is selling the product from our plant in France to the final customer in France. So first we are going to create a sales order. In the sales order, we are going to mention that the company code and the sales organization are the ones that we use for Germany. But in the shipping plant, we are going to insert the French plant. So the sales order belongs to Germany, but the shipping is happening from the plant in France. And this is how SAP understands that we are moving the product from the plant in France to our final customer. And then based on this sales order, we're going to create an outbound delivery. And based on the outbound delivery, we are going to post a goods issue. And here we have the normal accounting entries. So the goods issue accounting entry to final customer is debit to the cost of goods sold account and the credit to the inventory account. I have already explained all this process a lot of times, so I'm not going to get into many details now. But if you'd like to know more details about the order to cash process, you can find one of the best videos on the channel that explains it in detail. So the goods issue accounting entry is debit to cost of goods sold, credit to inventory, and then we move to the billing document to the final customer. So this is a standard final customer billing document. And here the accounting entry is a debit to the accounts receivable account for the value that we charged the customer, and the credit to the sales revenue account for the value of our revenue, and the credit to the output value added tax account with the tax code of France. So this is the actual output value added tax that we need to submit to the government. And this is it for this process. Now we have sold our product from the company code and the plant that is in Germany to our final customer that's in France. And we have seen how we can transfer the product to our artificial plant that is in France before we do the final sale. The process is not really that complicated. The most complicated part is understanding the accounting entry that we have when we post the billing document for the stock transfer, the one that has impact on our value-added tax reporting and for Intrastat. So this is the most complicated part. I hope that I explained it well. So if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask me in the comments. This will actually even help me personally to understand this topic more. And remember that I'm not a legal expert in EU, but I have seen it in projects and I have studied this topic in details to be able to explain in this video. So if you have any questions or any doubts, or if you would like to argue with me or discuss any points, do not hesitate. You can leave me a comment. You can also send me a message on LinkedIn. Also, if you are a channel member and you have access to our Slack community, then you will find that we have a special channel for plants abroad where we discuss everything related to the configuration and the process. So please feel free to join us in this channel and just ask any questions or discuss any points you like. In the next video, I'm going to demonstrate all this process end to end on my AG SAP S/4HANA 2023 server. So if you already have access to my server, you can go ahead and explore the process. It's already fully configured. And I have also updated the configuration manual that I share with the channel members with all the steps that I did in order to activate plants abroad. It was not easy. I faced a lot of issues and so on, but I maintained all the configuration steps that are needed with all the errors that I have faced in order to activate plants abroad and be able to run this process end to end. This is what we are going to see in the coming video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you get notified when I publish the next video with the demo. Also share the video with your connections, and you can check the channel membership program if you would like to get access to the member exclusive documents and videos, and also to the configuration manual. And if you would like to get access to an SAP S/4HANA testing server, then you can check the service that I provide by going to my website www.galalconsulting.com/SAP access. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again in the next video.